Hi, broadcasting not live from Geek, Mexico. I'm Bill the Geek, and this is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. On the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, we make videos about Mexico, and we try to share with you the joys and the beauties of living in Mexico. The following video is kind of an accident. We did a tour of Colima, Mexico with Lucy, the tour guide. All of Lucy's contact info is in the description below. I had driven by exits on the freeway showing Colima many times, and I saw all the cars, all the buildings. I wanted to know what it was like. I found Lucy in a Facebook group, and she gives tours through Guadalajara, Tequila, Comala, and Colima, and around the volcano areas. And she hooked me up with a great hotel for $35 a night, and I spent 2 full days with Lucy as she showed me the Colima, Comala areas. It ended up at the hotel that she set me up in was in Comala. Comala's population is 20,000. It's known as the White City of America. Yes, Mexico is in America. And it was $35 a night. Comala population is 20,000. It's a very quiet and clean town. And that's where Lucy lives. Lucy is about 40 years old. She moved to Puerto Vallarta from Montreal when she was 18, and she never went back to Montreal. She speaks fluent English, Spanish, and French, and she gives tours through Mexico. She has a 2-year-old baby. She's married. Her husband is a musician. He plays in the orchestra in Colima, and she has decided that Comala is the place that she is going to raise her child. I spent 2 days with Lucy. The tour was fantastic. The volcano, Colima, Comala, and this video is a short video about downtown Comala to give you an idea of what it looks like. Lucy told me that it's very inexpensive here. She said you can rent a nice 2-bedroom apartment for about 5,000 pesos a month. That's $250 a month. I bet for 8,000 pesos or $400 a month, you could get a great, excellent apartment. The beauty of Comala is it's only a 10-minute drive from Colima. Colima's population is 130,000 people. And she took me on a tour of Colima, and I saw a Walmart, a Sam's Club, a Burger King, Carl's Jr. Not that you'd be interested in any of those things, but it is a somewhat sophisticated town. So as I said, right now I'm in Geek. If you like lots of expats and high prices, Geek is the place for you. But if you're wanting to live very inexpensively, you might want to look at Comala. If you don't want to see hardly any expats live really cheap in a nice, safe, clean town, you may want to take Lucy's tour through Colima, Comala. So let's get started. We're just going to take a nice walk through a couple of streets in Comala. We're going to go to the plaza, and then we're going to take you to a fabulous place a few blocks from the plaza in Comala, developed by this rocket scientist guy who built this little village and developed a fantastic, what is now a museum owned by the university. Lucy would come and pick me up at my hotel. Here we are, we're like 2 blocks away from the plaza. And they call this city the White City of America because all of the houses and all of the businesses are painted white. And here you can see the hotel sign of where I was staying, the Hotel Posada Comala. And it was very nice, $35 a night, great little restaurant right below my room, very quiet. And I was very surprised. I was sitting out on my deck right above the restaurant, And this Mexican woman just started talking to me in English. We talked for about 2 hours. It was fabulous. The town was very quiet, but they had bars and restaurants. In a second, you're going to see the plaza. They have lots of transportation. Here's one way that you can get around. As I said earlier, you can take a taxi into downtown Colima in 10 minutes. It's about a $7.50 drive, 150 pesos. And now I'm a half block away from the plaza, and you start to see all these little cute restaurants. Lucy always ends our day. We go to a restaurant and have something to eat, and you see that there aren't many people here at the plaza, but the time now is about 8:30 in the morning. And when we come back, I'm going to show a clip at the end of the day when Lucy and I return to the plaza to go grab something to eat, that this plaza will be packed with people. On the corner, there's the wonderful church right there. Across the street from the church is an OXXO, which is like a 7-Eleven. In the afternoon, that little area right there is just filled with people. Those are all restaurants. There's a government building on the plaza, a money machine on the plaza. Comala was a great place to stay, and I really thought about moving there, but as you know, I want to move everywhere that I visit in Mexico. Hey, leave a comment. Tell us what you think. And if you liked the video, please click the like button. And you may want to think about clicking the subscribe button because we have many more videos to come. One of the highlights of this trip was this visit to Nojeras Hacienda. You have to remember that Mexico is very old, and Comala was founded in the mid-1500s. That's like 500, 600 years ago. And in this town, it was built by the grandfather of Alejandro Hidalgo. And he built this, and they developed a sugarcane plantation. And this is where people would live that worked developing the sugarcane. And it's a very quaint town. It almost looked like the little doors. You were just waiting for elves to come out of the door. Very peaceful. But this little hacienda, the little houses that are kind of hard to see through the trees, are where the workers used to live. They would work on the plantation, and it was a very peaceful and joyful life. Alejandro, he developed this, and later he turned it into a museum and turned it over to the University of Colima. So let's go inside Alejandro's house. He was famous. He lived from 1923 to the year 2000. He was a well-known Mexican artist, graphic designer, best known for his Christmas cards produced for UNICEF in the 1960s. A very famous man. And you can see his art here, but he was also an expert carpenter. Almost all of the woodwork in this house he did himself. The tables, the chairs, the desk, everything, countertops. The house is fabulous, and Lucy knows everything. When she takes you on tour, she's going to give you so much information, it's ridiculous. I was astounded. But this house is a giant house with all types of relics and artifacts. You really need to call Lucy for this tour. And look at this dining room area. Alejandro created all of this woodwork, and it was fabulous. And this is just a small portion of the tour. Let's continue. inside the house, it's really more than a house. Attached to the house is a storage area. Years ago, this is the place where they would store barrels of the sugar cane. Barrels and barrels and barrels. So you have the people living right outside of the house that work to collect and process the sugar cane, and then they would store it in this facility, all built by the grandfather of Alejandro. And Lucy knows all of the details the whole time. For 8 hours a day, for 2 days, she was just filling me with information. Outside of the house, Alejandro and his grandfather built a huge garden. And I think their goal in building this garden was to have a collection of all the plants that exist in the state of Colima. Colima is a state, and the city of Colima is the capital of the state of Colima. So they wanted to have plants that represented all the plants in the state. So part of the garden is a bamboo portion. It's all bamboo plants. They have another portion that is all cactus plants. It's just a collection of cactus plants, all labeled. They even had a vapor rub plant. And Lucy had me pick the plant, break one of the leaves in half, and it smelled just like Vicks Vapor Rub. This garden was just fabulous, and Lucy did a great job. And Alejandro and his grandfather, what brilliant, brilliant people. So we were at the hacienda for about 2.5 hours. It was fabulous. And whenever Lucy takes you on tour, she always ends the day by taking you to a restaurant. And now we're back at the plaza. You can see this, it's about 3:30 in the afternoon on a Tuesday afternoon. You can see that the plaza is filled with people, very friendly people, joyous people. We're going to go to a restaurant, and they have kind of a weird thing here. Between the hours of 1 p.m. and 6 p.m., you go to the restaurants across the way over there. That big white building, those are all restaurants. You go in, order some drinks, and then they give you free appetizers until 6 o'clock. So you drink your beverage. It can be lemonade, a martini, or a beer, and you just eat appetizer after appetizer after appetizer, and you can see the musicians standing in the street. We go live every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. So click the subscribe button so you get a notification so that you can show up and tell us what you think about Mexico or ask us questions about living in Mexico. We've been to a lot of cities, we've been to a lot of pueblos, and again, I've said this in other videos, it all depends on where your head is at. How do you want to live? If you want to have a really nice place to stay, pay hardly any money, have lots of peace and quiet, you might want to take a trip to Comala and check it out. It's just another alternative to the joys of living in Mexico. Thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the videos. Think about clicking the subscribe button. We have many more videos to come. All of Lucy's contact information is in the description below. Click the subscribe button. We have many more videos to come.